Hello and welcome to Marvel Cinematic University. I am your professor and your host, Alix, and with me, as always, is the worst student ever, Jacob. How are you doing today, Jake?
I am doing well.
That is grand to hear, as I just made you watch an entire half of a season of a show so we could talk about it today, and I thought you'd be doing worse.
Well, I fell asleep through the last episode, but...
No, that's fair. You said you watched it again, so...
Yeah, I, watched the last 10 minutes, realized I didn't see the 10 minutes previous, and then watched the other 10 minutes.
Oh, good. Well, I hope you're ready, because you're going to have a 30-question quiz on this entire season. Just kidding. We're doing this a little bit differently than we do movies. So we're going to go through each episode pretty quickly, pretty quick overview of the each episode, and as we're going through the episodes, I'll tell you the fun facts and connections during the episode, so you don't forget which episode those connections and fun facts are in. And then I will not give you a quiz today.
I like the sound of that.
So for TV shows, when we go through these, I probably will not be giving you a quiz at all for these. However, anything from this, fair game in the exam.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all.
Yeah, I knew you would enjoy that.
Keep it to some multiple choice in the exam, maybe. None of these short answers.
But now that I've explained how this episode works, I should also say this is Marvel Cinematic University, where each and every week I teach you something that you didn't know about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and you probably still don't because you're a terrible student.
In one year out the other, like I say every week.
I think this is the first week you've said that, actually.
Turns out it's the first week I said this.
All right, Jake. So before we get into your telling, I want to hear what you thought of the... I'm getting ahead of myself. So first, I'd like to say that we are only going through episode 1 through episode 11 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. This includes the pilot, 084, The Asset, I Spy, Girl in the Flower Dress, Fizzed, The Hub, The Well, Repairs, The Bridge, and The Magical Place. I had that all memorized. It definitely wasn't written down right here.
You definitely didn't read that. I didn't see it. Oh.
But what did you think of the first half of the first season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I have two main points. Phil Coulson, Philadelphia Cheesesteak Coulson. Go.
Yeah. It only gets better from here, too.
Not only in the field, but also in the sheets.
Oh. Am I forgetting something from these first 11 episodes?
Well, you had some old, I believe it was in the first or second episode. He rekindles a flame with a traitorous.
Oh, right. I do. That was the second episode. 084.
Yeah. With a traitorous warlord. And then leads me to my second point. Women in this series not to be trusted.
Well, I'm going to want you to hold that until the second half. Anyway,
that's my analysis of the first 11 episodes. It's kind of like, and I'm sure we'll get into this more, Sky's like that girlfriend that wants to be in a relationship with you, but she keeps cheating on you.
It was an accident. It won't happen again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, look, she's trying. She's had a struggle. She's had a hard. You don't even know yet. You don't even know. All right. Well, before we get into here, let me tell you a little bit about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. premiered on September 24th, 2013. The show is directed by Alan Taylor, and the showrunner is a piece of shit. Same piece of shit. I think that's actually the piece of shit's brother. The one who worked on the Avengers Assemble.
Okay.
So that's his brother. I think both of them worked on the pilot or whatever. Anyway, moving on.
Good that he's because that's one less name I got to remember for the test. Because I know you won't put it in there.
Oh man, what if I'm like, what did I call the person who directed Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Hey, piece of shit.
No, I would put D so it would throw you off. That's where I put all my joke answers. All right, well, this is also starring Clark Gregg, Ming-Na Wen, Brett Dalton, Chloe Bennett, Lane DeCastecker, that's Fitz, and Elizabeth Henstridge. This show, this part of the show anyway, this first half of the season takes place approximately 1 to 1.5 years after Avengers. Episode 8 takes place immediately after Thor 2.
Oh, okay, yep. They kind of reference that, right?
Yeah, you probably don't remember because you don't remember the events of Thor 2, but that's okay.
Yeah, I've definitely forgot those. I actually had to, go to a safe place for a few days and really just purge the brain.
Here's where your safety is gonna lie, in the fact that I probably won't put any questions from Thor: The Dark World on your exam, because I won't be able to remember anything that happened in that movie.
Fair enough.
But yeah, that's all I got for little factoids there. So why don't you go ahead and tell us the plot of the entire show, all 7 seasons.
Agent Coulson and his team are on the case.
Coulson's in it.
All right, cool. That's what sold the show. Oh, I should also mention that the show had been rumored to be worked on in about 2011, 2010, I think. And people thought it was going to be a show about Coulson, Fury, Maria Hill. And then a little movie called The Avengers came out, and Coulson did the thing where he didn't live anymore at the end of that movie. So people were like, well, how are they going to make a show about Coulson? It's just going to be about a Nick Fury show, maybe? And then Comic-Con 2012, they were like, hey, we're going to make this show with Coulson. And everyone's like, so is it a prequel? And then the hashtag Coulson lives started trending.
I think you tried to explain that to me whilst living in the dorms at college.
Yeah, this is about when that happened.
Yeah, and I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember much college either.
Yeah.
So then I remember being like, so is this going to be a prequel or a continuation? And then to my surprise, it was Coulson living. And I'm very happy. Our boy's alive. He's not dead yet. All right. Well, Jake, so let's talk about the pilot of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. What do you remember about the pilot?
So it's not actually about a pilot.
So are you aware that the first episode of every show is called a pilot because it's the pilot?
Found that out later.
There's a pilot in it. May's in it. She pilots the ship.
If one didn't know the first episode of every series is called the pilot, they would think it's about her.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the episode where the guy learns he has powers, right?
Yeah.
Burns down a building or whatever.
Yeah, what's the guy's name?
Jeff?
It's Mike Peterson, actually, based off the comic book Mike Peterson, who becomes Deathlock.
Oh, okay.
But yes, this is the episode where he gets his powers. So after the events of Iron Man 3, Mike Peterson is out with his son Ace when the top floor of a nearby building explodes. Peterson uses enhanced strength to save Debbie, a trapped woman from the building, and is filmed doing so by Sky. This is a lot more lengthy than I thought it would be. I thought it would be here's what happened. After Grant Ward recovers a Chitauri Neuralink from a flat owned by a black market dealer named T. Vanchant, S.H.I.E.L.D. Deputy Director Maria Hill. Deputy Director Maria Hill interviews him for a new assignment. Agent Phil Coulson, who is officially dead, walks in alive. Whoa. Assigns Ward level 7. So basically, just summing it up better than this wiki apparently is. Coulson, turns out he's alive. It's an agent. It's a level 7 secret. Level 6s don't know about. The doctor's like, we shouldn't have done what we did or whatever when he looks at Coulson leaving, and that's alluding to something in the future. And then Mike Peterson gets powers. Chloe Bennett is like, yo, be my friend. And then S.H.I.E.L.D's like, yo, Chloe Bennett, be our friend. And then Chloe Bennett becomes S.H.I.E.L.D's friend and tries to be Mike Peterson's friend as well. But all does not work out.
No.
Actually, that does kind of work out. They ice him. They use what's called an icer to ice him. Or I think in this episode, it's a sleepy time gun or whatever Fitz calls it. Fitz is the best character. Let's be honest.
He's a good one.
I like him. He's my favorite. He's a adorable little nerd.
Yeah, he's a pretty good character.
Who's your favorite character?
Coulson.
Besides Coulson. You can describe them, and I'll shame you for not knowing their name, but you can describe them.
I do like Fitz. He's up there. Who's the pilot? What's her name?
Melinda May.
Yeah, she's pretty badass.
Yeah, she's my second favorite.
Yeah, probably her.
Yeah, she's Milan, by the way. FYI.
Yep.
Fun fact. You did know that.
I did know that.
Shocking. She's also in Star Wars as a bounty hunter whose name escapes me at the moment.
Yeah, she's in Mando and one of the other ones, right?
Yeah, Book of Boba Fett. And she's also in Bad Batch, which is a cartoon, and she voices herself.
Every once in a while, I'll look up the characters and see what other movies they're in if I recognize like their voice or them from another show.
Wow, you're just like everybody else out there.
Yeah.
It's a good thing IMDb exists.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we've pretty much summed up Pilot. He got shot in not an airport, train station, and then taken in by Shield into Shield's custody. And his son something happened to his son. I don't really remember.
Yeah, he kind of just floats around until the last episode.
Yeah. No, he's being watched probably by somebody that Mike Peterson really respects or whatever.
Didn't watch him well enough, but okay.
Well, let's talk about episode 2084. Jake, what is an 084?
That South American warlord who tries to seduce Coulson.
Well, you see, she's not the 084. An 084 is an object of unidentified origin.
Yeah, they find it in one of the pyramids.
It's going to be important to remember that because 084s are going to come up a lot through this show, or at least twice. So
they come up a lot, but through 7 seasons, it's twice.
Well, listen, I only have made it back through season 2 on my rewatch, and it's come up again. So
okay.
All right. So the plot, this one looks a little shorter, so maybe it makes a little more sense. Beginning immediately after Pilot, 084 sees Skye accept Agent Phil Coulson's offer to join his SHIELD team as a consultant. That's right. Phil also offered her a membership.
Membership.
Did you say a scholarship?
Yes.
Yeah, she got a scholarship to SHIELD Academy.
Yeah. Did she not get trained for free?
I mean, she mainly just gets beat up by Ward, I think.
Yeah.
Though agents Melinda May and Grant Ward oppose this due to her hacktivist background and lack of SHIELD training, Coulson believes that Skye can be an asset. The team travels to Peru to investigate a reported 084, the SHIELD designation for an object of unknown origin. See, told you. They find the object within an ancient Incan temple, and agents Leo Fitz and Gemma Simmons determine that is Hydra made, so couldn't possibly be what they thought it was. Can you believe something of Hydra in 2013? This takes place before Civil War.
This is crazy business.
It's also powered by the Tesseract. There was more to that sentence that I never finished. Anyway, the national military arrives to claim the weapon for the Peruvian government led by Camila Reyes, a former fuck buddy of Coulson's.
I assume they said that.
Oh, word for word.
Yeah, word for word in there.
When they are all attacked by local rebels, the SHIELD agents and soldiers escape with the weapon to the plane that serves as the agents' mobile base. En route to a classified SHIELD facility, tensions among the agents are high because Coulson really wants to fuck Reyes. It's literally what it says. You can't make this shit up.
That's exactly how I would write it.
They are also high due to poor communication during the flight. This concerns Reyes, who decided to double-cross Coulson and secure the 084 for her government. Together, the agents devise a plan to activate the weapon, blowing a hole in the bus. That is also what the plane is called, if you don't remember from the pilot.
I do remember that.
Oh, wait, I also forgot to tell you. Okay, we'll do fun facts and all that fun stuff for both episodes, because I forgot to do that for the last episode.
I have a theory here, and we can wrap this in a nice bow, my theory, at the end.
Okay.
Hopefully you don't mention it, but I formulated this on my own, I'll have you know.
All right, I'm actually kind of curious to see what your theory is.
Yeah, so we can go over that at the end, because I think it'll make a little more sense after we talk through all the episodes.
All right, yeah, we'll add a little tack at the end here called Jacob's Big Theory.
I'll put it on a sticky note.
So The pressure opens the interior doors, blah, 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 blah. At the facility, Reyes and her men are incarcerated, and the 084 is launched into the sun in a rocket. The team watch the launch together. I think at this point, Skye secretly confirms her allegiance to the hacktivist group, the Rising Tide, by texting. She sent a little texty text. And you'll like this. In the end tag, S.H.I.E.L.D. director Nick Fury scolds Coulson for the damage caused to the plane during the flight and expresses his doubts over Skye's loyalty.
That was probably my favorite scene.
Did you think that Nick Fury was going to appear in this show at all?
Yes.
I was surprised. I had a feeling it was going to happen when I first saw this, but I remember like in 2013 being pretty shocked by that. There was also heavy rumors that Robert Downey Jr. was going to guest star at some point, but spoiler alert, he never does.
I was kind of wondering if any of the Avengers like show up throughout the series, like especially like Hawkeye and Agent Romanoff.
Yeah, no, I'll say season 1 and season 2 probably have the most connections, like guest appearances that we'll have for the rest of the show, to be honest with you.
All right.
Yeah, so that's it for this episode. So let me give you the fun facts for the pilot first. In the pilot, the badge numbers for Maria Hill and Ward correspond with the real life actors' birthdays. So their numbers are basically just the actresses' birthdays, month, day, and year. Gemma asks Ward if he's joining them for their journey into mystery. This is a nod to the Marvel comic of the same name.
Never even heard of Mystery. Yeah,
Journey into Mystery is was a big Marvel series.
More you know.
And we can't forget the it's all connected. So for the pilot, during the opening scene in New York City, we can see a damaged Stark Tower with the A symbol on it.
Avengers Tower.
Yeah, but it's still in the process. It's not Avengers Tower yet. It's still kind of a broken Stark Tower.
Getting there.
Yeah. And I think that's the only connection. And Riptide leaked the footage Coulson shared with Stark in the Avengers. I actually have a lot for the pilot. I was reading the wrong thing here. Skye has files and document on the Chitauri. You might remember them as the aliens that invaded New York City.
We see them come up quite a bit actually in these first 11 episodes.
We do. I mean, shit. Did you watch Item 47?
Yeah.
Oh, you did watch that?
That's one of the... Oh, for this week? No.
Yeah. All right, we'll talk about that another week. But Item 47 kind of sets up the whole this kind of show a little bit, to be honest. That's why I was going to have you watch it with this part, but we'll just pretend like I didn't mention it right now. And if you're coming back in, we probably cut something out here. Wade retrieves a Chitauri Neuralink. Agent Hill references Romanoff and Barton when comparing their scores to Ward's. When being interrogated, Skye references New Mexico and Project Pegasus. Both of these are former S.H.I.E.L.D. operations that we've seen in the past. Project Pegasus being the project with the Tesseract, and New Mexico being Thor's little smash place.
His love shack.
And then also here, Simmons says the Extremis serum has certain similarities to Erskine's serum and emits a large amount of gamma radiation. So for the thing that Mike Peterson has on him, they've used the Extremis serum that we saw in Iron Man 3. They've used the gamma radiation research of Bruce Banner, and they've used what they have for Erskine's serum, which they might have gotten from General Ross.
That Ross guy again.
Because remember, he had parts of the formula as well to enhance Blonsky. All right. And then fun facts for 084. The bus is designated as Shield 616, a nod to the main Marvel continuity. Here are some connections for 084. Coulson tells Skye his last 084 was Thor's hammer. Fitz says the 084 looks German because the tech is similar to Hydra technology. Coulson is still obsessed with collecting historical artifacts and memorabilia like he was in the movies. His office is a shrine to all of this history. And in this episode, he specifically points out the first risk communicators that S.H.I.E.L.D. used back in World War II and Captain America.
And his Corvette.
Correct. His Corvette is based off the technology that we saw in Captain America when Howard Stark made his little car fly. And then at the end, as I mentioned earlier, Nick Fury scolds Coulson. So let's talk about the asset. Jake, what do you remember about the asset?
I think it was. This is the one where the truck like started flying up into the air, right?
Yep, that's the one with the gravitonium.
Yep. And the asset's a person, I think, right?
The asset is the rich guy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it is, or something like that.
They have like Sky try to flirt with him, I think. But
Yeah,
she's like kind of like doing her double agent stuff.
Yeah, she's just tricking the guy, but then actually, tricking Shield. All right, let's just maybe we could just find a shorter version of this. Hold on, the asset Agents of Shield episode.
Can you read off the like kind of the overview of the episode from like Disney Plus?
Yeah. Oh wait, here we go. Perfect. All right. The asset. Coulson and his agents must race against the clock to locate brilliant scientist Dr. Franklin Hall, who has been kidnapped. Sky provides the team's only way in to crack the case. I think that's all we need to know, right? She flirts with the guy. They get away. The one guy dies, I think, and then Shield takes the gravitonium for themselves and put them in a secure location where no one will ever get to it again.
No one will get to that.
No one will ever get to that again. All right. So, fun facts for the asset: Graviton is a villain from the comics whose particles binded with the graviton particles. So this is a real villain. This guy, real villain.
Real villain guy over here.
Called Graviton. A really intimidating name.
I wonder how he got that name.
From the graviton particles, actually.
Really, these villains are clever with their names,
Very clever. The tractor trailer that is transporting Hall in the beginning of the episode is disguised as an office supply company trailer, Rocky Mountain Office Supplies. This is a nod to Graviton's origin because the lab where Dr. Hall's accident happened was in the Canadian Rockies.
But was he as cold as the Rockies?
No, he wasn't a Coors Light, actually.
Ah, okay.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. That'd be cool. That would have been a nice transition. Sponsored us.
All right, so for little connections in the asset, I got one for you. Sky was sent to St. Agnes as a child. That is the same orphanage as one Mr. Matt Murdock, a.k.a. Daredevil.
Oh, they were pals in the old orphanarium.
Well, we don't know that for sure, but one could assume probably not because of the age difference.
I've never seen Daredevil. I don't know how old he is.
He's at least probably like 10 years older than this guy. Sky is literally 21 in this. Did you know that?
Yeah.
All right. So now the next episode, which is I Spy with My Little Eyes. The episode called I Spy.
You mean your 4 eyes? I say as I have glasses too.
All right, dumbass. Well, tell me the entire plot. Tell me the entire plot for I Spy.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember too much about this episode.
Oh, let me jog your little memory here because I don't.
Memory jog with.
This is actually a really good episode. Phil Coulson and his team attempt to track down a mysterious female who has single-handedly committed numerous high-stakes robberies.
Oh, yes. This is when it's one of Phil's previous agents, or one of the agents he trained.
Yeah, his past daughter.
Yeah.
His pre-Sky daughter.
Yeah. Trains her all up, and then she gets this spicy thing in her eyes. Gets some Sriracha guy.
She was declared dead first, though.
Oh yeah.
And then she got Sriracha.
People aren't, they don't die in this show, really.
Well, no one dies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe to begin with. Let's be honest.
I highly doubt that guy that got chopped up by the propellers coming back.
Okay, so there's one confirmed dead guy in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Oh, the guy who got blendered by a helicopter.
He got turned into a smoothie.
But yeah, so she got Sriracha-eyed. She got died. And then they find her, and Coulson's like, well, I have to save her because that's my daughter.
Yes.
And then they save her. They find out she's got Sriracha. Ward goes undercover and fakes Sriracha. and then drawing a blank, but something. Fitzsimmons take out the Sriracha eye, and the end of the day. She gets arrested. The Sriracha eye lady gets arrested.
Yes.
Sweet.
But
all right.
Yeah, she's just happy to not have the Sriracha eye anymore.
I don't have any fun facts for this episode. However, I also don't have any connections. So let's go to the next episode.
I don't have any fun facts. However, I don't have any connections.
I also don't have any connections. All right. This episode is titled "The Girl in the Flower Dress." What was this episode about, Jacob?
This is where they find the magic guy on the streets, and they do some little testy tests on him. They give him lots of powers, and he's very excited about it. And then they take away his powers. Well,
and they give him a real shitty nickname, Scorch.
Scorch, yeah.
I think it's because he scorched his pants.
Yeah, it's like me after Chipotle.
Oh man, give me some turkey chili and I'll be Scorch all day.
Some eggplant.
Oh god. So this episode, an elusive girl may hold the key to a mystery that brings the team to Asia. Meanwhile, a secret jeopardizes Sky's relationship with the team. Because this is also where she cheats on S.H.I.E.L.D. with the guy.
Yeah.
They go after him, she fadongles him, and then May is like, whoa, you fadongled him, you're under arrest.
Can't be,
Fadongling. Also, Coulson's very angry, and I think this is also where we find out at the end of the episode, Sky tells Coulson that she's looking for her mommy and daddy and trying to find out what happened because S.H.I.E.L.D. had something to do with it because it was a classified S.H.I.E.L.D. op.
Yes.
And Coulson's like, is she really my daughter? And then they make up, but she gets this fancy little bracelet thing.
So that was kind of my connection there. I was like, I bet that's Coulson's daughter. That's kind of like when I started to realize it. And then I think the mother is May.
Interesting.
Because there is an episode where Coulson references him and May, doing the fadongling in the past.
Listen, I'm just saying, if you were partners with May, would you not fadongle?
I would fadongle 7 days a week and twice on Sunday.
Oh, you're supposed to take a rest on Sunday, actually. It's God's day.
Twice on Monday, then.
Actually, it's got to be 3 times now because you're skipping a day.
True. Twice on Friday, twice on Monday.
All right, there we go. Wow, so was that your big Jacob theory?
That was kind of my theory. I formulated that on my own.
Okay, we'll see how that pans out.
Yeah, I didn't want you to, blow up the theory before I, got to say it.
No. It's definitely a theory. I
think it's pretty solid and set in stone here. You'll never convince me otherwise.
That was set in stone was a good choice when talking about Sky's parents, and you'll get that joke when we talk about season 2 probably. All right. Let me tell you about the fun facts of the girl in the flower dress. She's a girl and she's wearing a flower dress.
Always a flower dress.
Those are the fun facts. Yeah, it's what they call her. They don't know her name for a while. They call her the girl in the flower dress.
Oh no, another woman you cannot trust.
Scorch is based off the obscure pyrokinetic Marvel character of the same name.
Can't imagine why that one didn't take off.
And then here are the connections. Coulson uses the same explosive picklock device he used in Iron Man and does the same pose and says, I really love this thing. When he goes to arrest Ironmonger with Pepper, that's the device he uses to get into the laboratory.
Yeah.
He uses that same one in this episode too.
It's all connected.
Also, I don't think I ever wrote it down, and I forgot what episode it was in. But at some point, Fitz references that S.H.I.E.L.D. Uses ear sets that are invisible to the eye or whatever, that they are nanotech or whatever. That, you know why they added that in there?
So it wouldn't be seen?
Because in the Avengers, and I never talked about this when we talked about the Avengers, I was kind of saving it for here. In the Avengers, they're all talking on headsets. However, none of the characters are actually wearing an earpiece.
That is true. Yeah.
So they threw that in here. I think it was in like episode 2 or 3 to cover up that little flaw. And I honestly always thought that was so clever.
Imagine if they were just like on Discord chat with massive headphones on.
Like in Captain America the Winter Soldier, he's actually wearing you can see his earpiece. It's like a black earpiece.
Oh, okay.
But like in the Avengers, they have nothing. It looks like this. It's just an ear with nothing in it. So yeah, so that wasn't part of this episode's connections, but that was somewhere in the show. When Raina is making her pitch to Chan to get him to cooperate, she asks if he's ever heard of Steve Rogers. She then explains that people only know Captain America, but couldn't give a shit about that small guy.
It's true.
I care about little Steven. Little Steven Raji.
Nah. Give me Cap.
No, little Steven Raji. All right, well, let's talk about next one called Fitzt. It'd also be episode 6, also known as episode 6.
Also known as episode 6.
What do you remember about Fitzt?
This is a tough one for me. This one I like watched and then I got like halfway through before I fell asleep, so I came back and watched the second half like a couple days later.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the one where this might be episode 7? Is this the one where everyone touched like the Chitauri helmet?
That's episode 8, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, give me a rundown here, Sloppy Jalopy, on what happened.
All right, Sloppy Jalopy, episode 6, FZZT, also known as Fitzt. When floating bodies turn up, Coulson and the agents must hunt down an elusive killer. Nobody is safe, not even the team. In Pennsylvania, a Boy Scout leader is killed in an apparent freak lightning incident after investigating a mysterious humming sound. Oh, right. This is the one where the Chitauri helmet is blowing.
Yeah, I was right.
Wait, did you say Chitauri? Sorry, I thought you said Asgardian.
No.
You know what? That's on me for not paying attention to the words you said out of your mouth.
Listen to the words out of my mouth.
No, you were right. Yeah. This is the one where the guy like gets infected with the Chitauri disease and they get Chitauri COVID. And then Simmons thinks she gets Chitauri COVID and jumps out of the bus, and then Fitz goes to get her, but then Ward's like, "No, I'm the man, you're the nerd," and he's an asshole and he does it himself.
Yeah, she was like, "I will not be vaccinated," and then jumps out of the plane. And then Ward's like, "No, you're getting this vaccination. It's mandatory," and then sticks her with it.
Oh no. That's gonna be a debate in my head later if I'm gonna keep that in or not. It'll probably stay.
Keep it in there.
Yeah, so this is when everyone like starts to get buddy with each other. We also forgot to mention that this is like episode 3, I think, or no, 4. Whenever the eye thing came into play, they were all playing cards at the end, and Fitz is trying to cheat by Chloe Bennett using the eye thing.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "I can see the cards, but I'll also see your little dinky," and he is like, "No, thank you."
Yeah, and then she really does the ogling on Ward there with that eye thing.
Well, yeah, she was eye fucking him. So back to the episode I was talking about, which was called Fist. In the end tag, Blake confronts Coulson about his insubordination, warning him that he could lose his team if he is not careful. Agent Blake, as you may not know because you did not watch Item 47, debuted in Item 47.
I wonder if he's in the old book here. I mean, look.
I don't know. He might be. I don't remember. He might have been in like the background of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Or
They
not
like
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the Avengers.
Characters in here. Agent Blake. He would be under the B. Anulax batteries made it in here, but he did not.
Interesting. A lot of people that didn't make it in there that should have. This episode heavily referenced the events from the Avengers. Specifically, there was focus on a helmet belonging to one of the Chitauri involved in the Battle of New York. This is just the plot of the episode, actually.
Let me just poke a hole in this. This was the first time they decided to touch it.
It's only a year. They probably didn't find it for at least 6 months. I mean, did you see that wreckage?
Oh, well, it's a bacteria that grows, so the bacteria might not have been on there. And then it recently grew because it was dirty.
There you go. Putting things together here. All right.
Put plugs in sockets here.
That's all I got for Fitz. So let's talk about the hub. Hubba hubba.
This is episode 7?
This is episode 7. Do you remember what happened here?
They go to the hub, and this is where we see Sitwell, and he gets zapped by Gemma, who is very bad at talking.
It is where we see Sitwell. Good old Sitwell. You remember him being a Hydra agent and all? Does that make you feel...
Quite suspicious, if you ask me.
Does that make you... So remember, this episode came out before Captain America's The Winter Soldier.
Yeah, so we don't know that yet.
We don't know that, but he is acting pretty sus here.
Sussy. It's almost like there's Hydra stuff in there he doesn't want her to see.
I remember watching this episode the first time and being like, wow, they really made Sitwell a dick. And then I watched Captain America and I was like, wow, Sitwell's a dick. But yeah, so dangerous secrets are being kept from Coulson's team. And he works the system to save Ward and Fitz when they are sent on a level 8 classified mission that could easily end in tragedy.
Yeah, they sent him on that mission there. Sky, is trying to find out where they are, finds out, and then finds like the file on her parents. She doesn't have enough time, so she doesn't look at it. And then Coulson catches her, and she's like, "There's no extraction point." And then they go get him.
Yeah, and then also Coulson gets that information and keeps it from her because it turns out that her parents were catastrophically murdered in Mexico or something.
Murdered.
Everyone dies in the MCU, Jake. Do you remember our conversation from earlier?
Yeah, they don't die. It was a cover story so that they could put Sky at the orphanage, and then they can continue being agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. instead of parents.
Oh, because that's why Coulson's like, I can never tell her the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something.
I'm your dad.
I'm your... I may not be your dad, but I'm your daddy. Isn't that what Yondu says or something like that?
Yeah.
He might be your father, boy, but he ain't your daddy.
But he ain't your daddy.
What? We were on the hub? All right, let me tell you about the fun facts from the hub. Victoria Hand is based off of Victoria Hand from Marvel Comics.
Hand.
Victoria.
Victoria. Hand.
However, in the comics, she was deputy director under Norman Osborn and was tasked with weeding out those loyal to Fury, Stark, and Rogers. So a little suspicious.
A little bit, right? A little bit of Hydra behavior right there, if you ask me.
Well, you know what? We might find out.
Oh, okay.
All right, let me tell you about the little connections in this episode. A. Agent Sitwell shot by Elizabeth, whatever her face is. What's her name in the show? Simmons.
Yes.
I have to say both their names to get her name.
Gemma?
There's Fitz and Simmons, and they are always called Fitzsimmons. All right, so we're talking about the hub. When Coulson confronts Hand about there not being an extraction plan for Fitz and Ward, she tells Coulson that Barton and Romanoff don't need extraction.
Well, yeah, I mean, we ain't exactly talking about Barton and Romanoff here, okay?
I mean, well, who it was? Fitz, yeah, definitely not on the level, but Ward would be. I would put him on a level with Romanoff.
I don't think so.
He's been in S.H.I.E.L.D. since he was he's been in the organization since he was 16, I think, or 17.
Did he train with the KGB?
So let's talk about the next episode, which is called The Well. What happens in The Well, Jacob?
Well, Ward kind of gets some little brain trauma there, and remembers a time where he was in a well.
Yeah, he was in a well, all right.
Yeah, that's all I got.
That's all you remember about that episode?
Yeah, I probably got busy at work while I was watching that one.
During the aftermath of the events chronicled in the feature film Thor: The Dark World, Phil Coulson and the team pick up the pieces. However, the circumstances threaten to destroy a member of the team. So yeah, they're cleaning up in London after the events of that shit movie Thor, and then there's a staff. People touch it and get angry. You won't like it when they're angry. War touches it. He gets angry. They don't like him when he's angry. He sees a well. He's in the well.
This is where they meet the Asgardian.
No. Wait. Oh, yes. Sorry. I was thinking about a different episode. You'll understand my confusion in a couple episodes. Yes, that's right. They go to the professor that Coulson consulted when he originally found Thor's hammer. Turns out that guy was like Asgardian the whole time. And he's also kind of a dick.
Big dick.
I'd say that's pretty much all I got for the episode.
That's a wrap.
All right. So, fun facts for The Well. Fitz and Simmons use fake names based off the main characters from The X-Files.
Okay.
Simmons plays the words Strange Tales on the Scrabble board as a nod to the comics of the same name. Another famous Marvel comic line.
It's all connected, and that's a fun fact right there.
Episode number... No, there's 3 more episodes.
Well, the well has run dry.
No, The Well will be back, actually.
Oh, wow, okay.
Season 1, Episode 9, Repairs. What happens in Repairs?
I don't know. Go ahead and jog the old brain here. These last 3 episodes, besides I guess 9 and 10 are probably pretty fuzzy for me.
Oh, those are the best episodes. When a mysterious force threatens to destroy Coulson and the team, a secret from May's past could save them. In a town in Utah, the morning after S.H.I.E.L.D.'s conflict with a paganist hate group, Hannah Hutchins, survivor of the local particle accelerator, is tormented. Oh, right, okay. This is where the lady, everything is like exploding and dying around the lady.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep. Okay. Yeah, she keeps knocking people off.
Yeah.
Die, Marvel.
So they die. It turns out there's a guy that's stuck in between realms, and he's kind of jumping between them, and he's like a ghost almost. And then at the end of this episode, in the end tag, wait, what? This is the same. Oh, I see what happened here. I hit the wrong button. In the end tag, May pulls a prank on Fitz, revealing that her trauma is gradually healing. Also, I think this also means that this is the entire episode where Fitz and Simmons are trying to prank Scott.
Yeah. I think it's that one.
It's kind of a filler episode, so we can move on to the next. Well, hold on. Do I have anything? Fun facts. It's not fun, but it's also not connected.
Next. Thank you.
All right. Season 1, episode 10.
Is this the episode? Do we meet the new guy? The guy from episode 1 in episode 10?
Yes, we do.
Yeah. So that's where we kind of find him because the flower dress lady comes back. They gotta get rid of her.
Did she scorch herself again?
I don't think she scorched herself again, but she's definitely got some pretty powerful henchmen they need help with, and
yeah, they got the centipede.
Yep, it's the centipede and the Everseer, the guy, the organization or person that she works for.
Oh, you mean the clairvoyant?
That one,
the overseer.
That's from Fallout.
I see.
Yeah.
Seeping in here. Yes, that's the clairvoyant. That's where we find out she's working for the clairvoyant.
That's where they trade Coulson for Ace, right? Or is that in the last episode?
Ace is the kid, right? Yes. This is in this episode. Yep. They trade Coulson for Ace. I think the next episode is them saving Coulson. Yeah,
the next episode is like, you take this team, but I'm taking my team to go save Coulson.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so in this episode, they Coulson is kidnapped. It turns out Mike Peterson's an asshole, and it turns out that he was supposed to give Coulson to her, not himself. And that's pretty much all I remember. They recruited the guy from S.H.I.E.L.D. and I think he wanted to bang Skye at one point, but Skye was still interested in Ward's because she knows what he's packing.
Wasn't Fitz interested in Skye at one point too?
Yeah. Before she saw his little weeby.
Yeah.
I don't have any fun facts for this episode, but I do have connections. Oh, did I already read the synopsis for this one? No, I didn't. Coulson brings in Mike Peterson for some super soldier support in the war against Centipede. A twist puts the team at risk.
Yeah, and I thought the initial deal was for Michael Peterson, and then the flower dress lady was like, "No, we want Coulson," and kind of did a switcheroo there.
Yeah, and Mike Peterson already knew what the fake deal was. Didn't he?
I thought.
Or maybe he didn't.
I don't think he did. I think he still thought he was going.
No, he did. He did know he was giving Coulson up. He did.
Dog. Dirtbag.
I don't have any fun facts, but I do have a connection. Peterson mentions that he got his son toys of all the heroes of the Battle of New York. He also references Captain America during his training session at the S.H.I.E.L.D. training facility. Coulson opens up a bit to Ward a little bit. What? Coulson opens up to Ward a little bit about the cellist that he was dating. Apparently, they are no longer together, as Coulson has to remain officially dead because the Avengers believe he died prior to the Battle of New York. Do you remember the cellist?
I remember talking about it.
Yeah, in the Avengers, Pepper asks Coulson how the cellist he's dating is, and then later on in the movie, we see Tony talking about giving Coulson and the cellist a vacation.
Coulson got a vacation.
And the cellist thinks he's dead. He got out of a relationship.
Yep.
Best excuse ever. Yeah, I was dead.
I was dead. Which we talked about in the last episode.
The Hub. What? Or not the Hub, sorry. I fucked that up. The magical place.
Yes. They discuss Phil Coulson's magical place. They have this weird machine with lots of arms going on his brain. And the doctor's saying, we shouldn't do this. Let him die. And I think the other doctor was like, he's a named character in Marvel. He can't die.
I think that's exactly what he says.
Yeah. And I think they put a new brain in Coulson, right?
They just mess with it a little bit.
Did a little messing around. But Coulson was apparently dead for days.
Yeah, 8 days.
8 days.
So yeah, he breaks into the doctor's car, and the doctor's like, "Yeah, it wasn't 8 hours; it was 8 days."
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know yet what brought him back. We learn that later, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much the episode, and then they save him. And he's like a little different.
Yeah, because Coulson would never die again.
So I have some fun facts for this. No, I don't have any fun facts. I also don't have any connection. So, yeah.
I guess the only connection would be to, him dying.
Yeah, he died in the event of the Avengers, which we talk about throughout this entire goddamn show.
Yeah, so.
But yeah, that's all I got for the Avengers, or the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I mean.
I think it was pretty solid.
Yeah. So next week we'll do part 2. That's your homework, is to finish this off.
Second 11 episodes.
Second 11 episodes. They honestly are some really good television. I binged like 6 episodes in a day, not because I had to like you, but because they are good. So you'll like this. So play Minecraft and watch them. That's what I do. Anyway, that's the bell. Class is over. Your homework, you already have it to do the S.H.I.E.L.D. 2. Your homework, however, is to subscribe to Marvel Cinematic University, and also like us on everything: Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. Just go to AJ Slabs, Juicy Snake 12, or at Marvel Cinematic University Pod on Instagram. I remember that one off the top of my head. And
Good thing you don't have a sticky note on your computer I see you reading off of.
that would be a good idea, huh? But that's it for this week. We'll catch you next week here at Marvel Cinematic University. Until then, stay Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't know.